Hello everyone, welcome to YourPedia Education. So today I am going to discuss the most important questions for your BSNL exam, right? BSNL exam. Today I am going to discuss the questions from the GSM part, right? The most probable questions from that GSM part I am going to discuss with you today, right? The first question is what the GSM mainly use which access technique for transmitting the signal. Whenever we go for the GSM, whenever we go for the GSM is using GSM is using a combination of FDM as well as TDM. So if I'm going only for the GSM, you cannot say that purely FDMA is using there. No, we are using a combination of TDMA as well as FDMA. So that will be narrow band TDM is used inside the GSM system. GSM is what? GSM is generally stands for what? Global System for Mobile Communication, GSM, and GSM is also known as 2G network. Remember one thing about that GSM cannot support directly your packet, means you can say the internet services. GSM is not providing the internet services. Whenever we integrate another part with that one, now the name becomes GPRS, right? GPRS is providing the you can say the data services with this GSM. So GSM is only supporting the voice calls. Now let's take about this one. When we go for this GSM 900 band, the uplink frequency for the GSM 900 band, when you go for the uplink frequency in this GSM 900 band, that uplink frequency is generally lying between 890 to 915 megahertz. This is the uplink frequency. Uplink, there are two types of frequency: uplink frequency and downlink frequency. Whenever we are talking about the uplink frequency, when your mobile station will communicate with your tower, you can say base station, right? When I'm communicating with my base station, I'm using that frequency range, that is called as uplink frequency. Another frequency is downlink frequency. Whenever any information is coming from the base station towards me, that frequency is known as downlink frequency. So in this GSM, if we are talking about the uplink frequency, GSM are two bands in GSM 900 band and GSM 1800 band. So we will have the different uplink and downlink frequency for both of them. I already discussed these things in detail in my GSM class, right? When we studied the GSM, we are taking I already take the 3 classes on that one, and in that one I discussed these things in detail, right? What are the frequency band for uplink and downlink frequencies, right? Uplink and downlink frequencies. Now, if we are talking about the GSM 1800 band, this is GSM 1800 band. Now, he is talking about that one. In that GSM 1800 band, what will be the frequency of your downlink? Downlink, he is talking about. So, if I am going for downlink frequency in GSM 1800 band, that will be 1805 to 1880 megahertz. So this is the frequency which will be used for downlink in your GSM 1800 band. So this is important. You have to go through both GSM 900 and GSM 1800. I already discussed that structure in detail. Everything about that one I discussed in detail. Now we are talking about the duplex spacing in GSM 900 band. Whenever we are talking about the duplex spacing means what? We are having a separate band of uplink and a separate band of downlink. Then how should be the space between uplink and downlink? That is called as duplex spacing, right? That is called as duplex spacing. So if we go for duplex spacing in GSM 900, that should be 45 megahertz. That should be 45 megahertz. That I'm talking about GSM 900. If you go for GSM that GSM, GSM 1800, that will be different. Now, next question is what the bandwidth. What is the bandwidth of a GSM 1800 band? He is talking about the bandwidth. Bandwidth means what? The highest frequency minus lowest frequency is called as the bandwidth. Highest frequency minus lowest frequency is called as the bandwidth. So whenever we go for the bandwidth of GSM 1800 band, that bandwidth should be 75 megahertz. If you want the detail, I again say most detail, we go in every detail, single structure and everything in the class. You can go through that one. Right, so if we go for the bandwidth of GSM 1800 band, that bandwidth is 75 megahertz. Here is the complete detailed solutions, because for uplink we are using a frequency of 1710 to 1885. So that means 1885, 1785 minus 1710, that will give you the 75 megahertz as a bandwidth of GSM 1800. Now he's talking about, see, GSM 900 band, and the carrier frequency is 200 kilohertz. So in GSM 900 band, when we talk about the 900 band, that 900 GSM 900 band, if you are going for the uplink, that will have a bandwidth of, that means from here to here we are having, this is the bandwidth of uplink in you can say your GSM 900, right? We are having a bandwidth of 25 megahertz, and this 25 megahertz bandwidth will be divided into the carriers of 200 kilohertz frequency. So he is talking about how many carriers are possible. The total number of carriers are possible, that will be 25 divided by 200, this is in megahertz, this is in kilohertz. When you divide that one, it is become 125. So whenever we are going for GSM 900 band, we are having total number of carrier are 125 carrier, but he's talking about the total carrier. See, one more thing, always remember, whenever we go for the GSM, the lowest, see, one carrier is lying here, but we will not use that carrier inside the during the transmission. Why we are not using that carrier for the transmission? Because this carrier can create the interference with lower frequencies, so we will leave the starting carrier. See, there are total number of carrier frequencies are 125, but how many are usable, how many are using there? That is 124. So 124 carrier frequencies are used inside your GSM 900 band, right? 124 frequencies, but there are 125 carrier frequency. I'm again saying the lower frequency we are not using for the carrier because of to eliminate the interference with that one. So answer for this question, if he is asking that total used carrier frequencies, then my answer is 124. If he is talking about total carrier frequencies, then my answer is 125 for this question. Next is the number of RF channel used in, this is the question what I'm talking about, but this time he's talking about the 1800 band. So GSM 1800 band will have a bandwidth of 75 megahertz, then we will have to divide that by 200, so we will get that 375. But again he is talking about number of RF channel used means we have to left one channel, one carrier frequency. So how many channels I can use here? 374 channels we can use in this case. So answer will be 374. Right. Next question is ARFCN stands for. So whenever we go for the definition of this ARFCN, that definition of, or you can say the full form of that ARFCN is absolute radio frequency channel number. Absolute radio frequency channel number, right? This is absolute radio frequency channel number. This is the numbering system used to identify a radio channel in GSM. So you can read the details about that one here. Okay, let's move to the next question. Right, this is also a very good question. So GSM adopt with duplexing is different from multiplexing, right? Duplexing means what? We are transmitting a signal from means mobile station to the base station, then base station to mobile station. So there are two things. One is frequency duplexing. We are having a separate frequency for uplink and we are having a separate frequency for downlink. So that is called frequency duplexing. Whenever we are using the different time slot, let us take first 10 seconds, I will transmit on the same frequency. The next 10 seconds, the base station transmit towards me for the next 10 seconds. So that is called as time division duplexing. So whenever we are talking about this GSM system, that will adopt the frequency division duplexing. I'm not talking about the multiplexing. This is duplexing, right? So frequency division duplexing is used by the GSM systems. Which statement is about the TDD is correct? When we talk about the time division duplexing means what? We are transmitting one time slot for me to transmit towards the base station, next time slot for the base station, that base station transmits the information towards me. So we will use the different time slot for transmission and reception. So answer will be C here for this question. Very good. Next is what? Which of the following is not one of the broad division of GSM architecture? So whenever we go for the GSM architecture, in the GSM architecture we will have the mobile station, we will have the base station, we will have the network switching substation, but this optical fiber control system is not there. So answer will be D. That will be not the part of your system. Next is a group of cells form a what? So whenever we combine a group of cells together in the GSM system, that is generally known as what? Location area. When we combine, let us take, you are having 10 to 20 cells, right? We combine the cells together and that combined group of cells is generally known as what? That is known as location area. That is known as what? Location area. Remember the name, location area. That is most important in case of your GSM parts. When we combine the groups together, they will make a location area. Yeah. The area covered by a network operator is called as what? That is generally called as PL plan. That is PLMN. So the area covered by a network operator is generally known as what? Plan. PLMN. Yes. Next is another interesting thing is what is IMEI is primarily used to identify. So whenever we are talking about this IMEI stands for International Mobile Equipment Identity, right? So this IMEI number is generally used to identify, your equipment internationally, right? So let us take, you are having a phone, your phone has a EMI number, IMEI number, right? That IMEI number is uniquely identify your phone. So it means what it will be, it is used to identify the equipment identity internationally. So that IMEI number is for your mobile phone, right? So based on that one, we can find that, yeah, this is your mobile and which brand, this mobile is from which brand, which technology it can use, like that. All the information will be given by this EMI number. Next is IMSI consists of, whenever you go for the structure of this IMSI means what? that is a subscriber identity. This is the subscriber identity. It is having three parts. One is MCC, another one is MNC, and the last part is MSIN. The last part is MSIN in your MSI, right? So whenever we are talking about this MCC, what is MCC? MCC stands for Mobile Country Code. The first thing inside this IMSI, right? Inside this subscriber identity, this is the subscriber international mobile subscriber identity. Remember the name of that one. Inside that one, the first thing we will have the MCC. MCC stands for Mobile Country Code. MNC stands for Mobile Network Code, and then we will have the MSIN, that is stand for Mobile Subscriber Identification Number. So these all things combined together, that will uniquely identify the subscriber within a global network structure, right? But remember one more thing, there is another thing, MSISDN, right? This is your mobile number. This is your mobile number. Whenever you are dial a mobile phone, that number is represent MSISDN number, right? Note IMSI, remember that one. Whenever I'm dialing the phone, I'm not dialing this IMSI number. I'm dialing this number, that name is MSISDN number. Clear to everyone? So if we go for the structure of IMSI number, that structure consists of three parts: MCC, MNC, and MSIN, right? This is to identify your identity globally. Means the network, how the network will identify you, that will identify you on the basis of this IMSI number. Network will identify you on the basis of this number. But whenever I'm identifying, I'm calling you, let us take, I'm making a call to you, I will dial that number. That number is not IMSI number. That number is MSISDN number. Remember the name thing. Remember the name of these three things, right? Okay. Next question is the authenticated telephone number of a mobile station is called, as I already discussed in the previous thing, that is MSISDN number, right? That is the authenticated number for a mobile phone dialer. Okay, next is TMSI assigned by what? Whenever we are called this, talking about this TMSI stands for Temporary Mobile Subscriber Identity. It is generated and assigned by your VLR, Visitor Location Register, right? For use within the service area of that VLR. So it will be generated by this what will generate this TMSI number. This VLR will generate this TMI, temporary mobile subscriber identity, whenever you go for visit any different areas, right? So it will use to improve the security or privacy of the user. So that's why we are using TMSI numbers. That will be generated by your VLR, Digital Location Register. Next is, in a GSM, a physical channel is what? In GSM, if we are talking about the physical channel means what? Through which we can communicate. So the physical channel is a time slot in a TDMA frame. That is known as what? Physical channel inside your GSM systems. Next question is, the logical channel in GSM is represented by what? See, whenever we are talking about this logical channel means all the logical information, right? This how the subscriber connect with the call, before the call connection, before allocating the physical channel to you, what is happening inside the network, that is done by this logical channel. So logical channel is represent a specification of information content, right, inside the network. That is specification of information content. Yes, next question. Which of the following is not a broad type of GSM logic channel? Whenever we are talking about the logic channel, inside the logic channel, we are having the traffic channel, broadcasting channel, common control channel, but we don't have the optical relay channel inside your GSM logic channels, right? These are the logic channels. The traffic channel is in GSM mainly used to carry. Whenever we are talking about this traffic channel in GSM, that will be mainly used whenever we are talking. Let us take, we are calling the person, all the logical information done. After that, the network, all the information check and everything is done, then the network allocate me a traffic channel, right? On through that traffic channel, I can communicate with other person, I can browse the internet, you can say, right? So that traffic channel will carry the speech or data services. So these services will carry by your traffic channel. Another thing is gross bit rate of your TCHF. TCHF means what? TCH is represented by traffic channel, right? Traffic channel at full rate. Whenever your traffic channel is used at full rate, then the full rate channel after coding, because channel will done the coding. After the coding, we will get a full channel rate that will be 22.8 kbps. Remember, after full coding, after, so not full coding, sorry, channel coding, we are getting a full rate of this one, and 13 kbps is the 13 kbps is represent the net speech coding rate, right? At this rate the speech signal is coming, but after channel coding we are getting a full rate of 22.8 kbps. So gross bit rate of 22.8 kbps will be achieved by this TCH full rate. Next is net speech rate. He's talking about net speech rates in TCH half rate, right? Whenever we go for TCHH means what? Half rate traffic channel. So if you are going for TCH half rate, it means speech rate, not half rate. That is speech rate. So speech rate of full channel is 13 kbps, as we already mentioned in the previous case. That is a half channel, so that will be divided by 2. Around 5.6 will be the speech rate there. 5.6 will be the speech rate there in case of TCH, right? Next is the main advantage of TCH TCH EFR stands for enhanced full rate. So whenever we go for this TCH enhanced full rate, it will improve the speech quality. It will improve the speech quality of your system, right? That will be the use of this one. Next is broadcast channel in GSM are defined only for, whenever we go for broadcasting means your tower, your BTS, your tower is broadcasting the information. It means that information is traveling from the tower to the mobile station. That information is coming from your tower towards the mobile station. So that means that information is going in downlink direction. That will going in downlink direction. So whenever he is talking about broadcasting channel in GSM, that will be transmitted from tower to the mobile station. So that's why they are knowing that downlink directions, right? So these are some important questions from that topic of GSM. The which type of question he can ask from that topic. So if you want to prepare for this BSNL job, you can join YourPedia Education. On that YourPedia Education, we already cover all the syllabus, and that also available in decoding phone. Currently we are doing the question practice sessions on these one. So if you want to prepare, you can join the YourPedia. Thank you.